So welcome everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our Kaleidoscope lecture today. My name is Robin Kingsborough, and I'm the president of the Color Research Society of Canada. So welcome to everyone from far and wide. I just have a couple of announcements for you about the CRSC before we move to our speaker today. So the CRSC has an annual student award, which we award to post-secondary students, undergraduate, postgraduate students, cégep, anywhere. If you're a student across Canada, you're welcome to apply. So the deadline is coming up March 1st, and you can find the application form on our website. And I'll put our website in the chat in a moment. We're also looking for new members of our board, and the deadline to apply is March 8th. So again, on our website, there's a package that you can have a look at or reach out to me. I'll also put my email in the chat as well. And a heads up, March 21st, maybe you know this, is International Color Day. Which is International Color Day by the AIC, the International Color Association, and that we are the Canadian arm of that. So we always hold our annual general meeting then at 6, and then we have a special keynote speaker. This year will be Indigenous artist Donald Chrétien, who lives in Ontario, and we'll talk about color in his work. So again, on our website, you can get more details about that. So I'm very happy to welcome you today, and I'll read our land acknowledgement. The CRSC's activities related to sharing color knowledge take place across Canada, understood as part of Turtle Island, the ancestral homelands of over 630 First Nation communities, representing more than 50 Indigenous nations and languages. We work to respect, affirm, and support where necessary the inherent treaty rights of all Indigenous peoples across these lands and waters. Our commitment to honoring the knowledge, ways of knowing, and wisdom of Turtle Island's Indigenous peoples aims to contribute to the decolonizing work required today for moving towards a just society. The CRSC is a not-for-profit organization for color research focused on fostering cross-disciplinary sharing of color knowledge. We seek to develop and support a national cross-disciplinary network of artists and designers, scholars, and practitioners with an interest and engagement in color. So I would like to welcome our speaker today, Dr. Ingrid Calvo Ivanovic, and she will be talking about ethical color towards color sustainability in design. She's a researcher and consultant, color designer. She recently obtained her PhD in design research at the University of Milan. And she is currently a member of the executive committee of the AIC, the editorial board of the Color Research and Application Journal. And I've also known her the last few years as a member of the steering committee of the AIC and ISCC Color Literacy Project. She's a member of the study group on color education, study group on environmental color design, and she currently is an assistant professor of the design department of the Universidad de Chile, and she's an invited collaborator at Politecnico de Milano. For more than 13 years, she's been a full-time researcher in the field of color, developing methodologies for its study, teaching, and application in design, architecture, and art, concerning other research areas such as visual and curatorial studies. She's presented specialized conferences and workshops in lots of different countries and across Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And I think it's a very important topic that she's covering today. So very pleased to welcome Ingrid to speak to us. Thank you, Ingrid.
Thank you, Robin, for the invitation. I would like to start with this idea of ethical color. I'm going to show you a lot of examples and case studies of what is happening today with color sustainability in design and where it is it going. So, but first of all, I would like to introduce this concept of ethical color. by which I mean that the future of color design must be at least explained through three elements, or three concepts or three objectives for it. So ethical color, in my opinion, and in this ongoing research that I'm developing, should be, first of all, meaningful. And meaningful means communicating in understandable ways. So this also means that we can address color and the different aspects of life. And this also means giving aids and materials to the people that has to take who are the decision makers in color design, and from which we are expecting them to be adopting a more sustainable attitude. So let's say that this meaningful element is related to the fact that we have to teach and learn more about color. So it's not new that most of design schools don't teach color properly, and through proper time and the time dedication and proper resources. So if we want future designers to be sustainable in their color application, they should have more access to color knowledge, to meaningful color knowledge, updated color knowledge, and technologies. So the second idea is that ethical color should be sustainable. And being sustainable also is having a sense of responsibility by creating a synergy between human beings, the planet health, and economic prosperity. And about this is going to be this talk today. So I'm going to go deep in a few minutes. And the third idea is that ethical color should be human-centered or humanity-centered. And this is putting humans at the center of the process, trying to create color solutions that connect with users' cognitive and emotional states. So this trilogy of elements, as you can see here, they are written as a verb, starting with a verb. So this means that it's a call for taking action. And as it is a call for taking action, and this talk is about sustainability, what I'm going to present to you today is 7 actions that we can take if we want to be more sustainable with color or with color design. So let's start with the first. It's again related to education, as also Robin in my presentation said. Color education is my field of research. So I wanted to start also with an action related to education. And in this case is educating more about color quality control. So the thing is that for years, most of color designers in general, and also color educators for design, have avoided the consideration of color quality control technologies because this could be, or it is perceived to be as a very arid topic, so very hard topic to teach or to address. Because color quality control, or also called color management or color measurement, is based on mathematical and instrumental measurement. So these sometimes keep people away of this topic, and also, additionally, we have the high cost of instrumentation. So these reasons have made that people usually don't consider the color quality control something that they can address, or they can learn, or they can apply. However, this effort for getting to know more about these methodologies, these technologies, should be made, because optimizing color production processes and performing quality control protocols can reduce the number of physical samples, for instance, and the creation of unnecessary waste. So we may think that adopting sustainable materials is enough. Well, it is not enough. Processes must be optimized to reduce their environmental impact. A lot of brands that work with innovative materials and modern technologies are establishing efficient color workflows. They are trying to include some technologies of color measurement and color quality control in order to ensure that product colors meet customer expectations. But customer expectations today are also related to value and ethical expectations. So that's why also greater color control should be an integral part of modern product development to achieve or to help achieving this sustainability. But color quality controls are not only related to design fields or the creative fields. Let me give you an example of other industry that work with color, which is the fruit export industry, which is a clear example of an industry that doesn't consider most of the time this kind of color management control. So as you may know, fruit export industries base the entire selection and discarding of the fruits on chromatic criteria. And it is a pity that protocols for color management or visual assessment of worker site or lighting controls are rarely considered. So we can imagine the amount of waste or food waste that an industry that doesn't control this may create. And sometimes we think that there may be specific cases, but there are a lot of industries that don't even consider this color management protocol. So this is something that maybe could be changed by implementing a few rules or a few things to do. So let's go back to design, to the second action. So the second action will be thinking critically about consumer culture and color trends, as they may generate more waste and exploitation of the planet resources every year. We have to think critically about this because often, for instance, the choice of color of the year is not based on empirical research, is not based on sociological analysis, but they are almost based only on marketing campaigns that, rather than predicting a trend, they merely coordinate it. And as you may know, also color trends are specific to each industry, to each brand, to each year, and they are also ever changing. So most of the time, color trends, as you may see here also in this image, we have the same year, two different brands of the same field that are working with different trends for that year. So designers also may get lost, not understanding who to work with, who to choose, which are actually the colors of the year. And this is also because the color trends are usually evaluated from a commercial point of view. And sometimes they are trying to promote the colors that have been the least sold by a brand in recent years. So that's the logic behind them. Not behind them all, but most of them, yes. Most of the people that is predicting color trends, sometimes at the end of it, maybe they may start the process of predicting color trends with a sociological idea, with trying to keep an eye on society, but the final decision, it is usually a commercial decision. So in my opinion, color palettes and trends must move towards a renewable and circular future. And the logic, the optic behind it should be other. For example, we could reflect on the use of timeless colors, not instead of ever-changing colors. So if we think in this concept of timeless colors, we may see an example of what it has always perceived as timeless color, which can be landscape colors, for instance. But again, they have to be evaluated in their context. Why? Because color trends are usually dictated in Northern Hemisphere and also in first world countries. So very often when I look at the concept of earthy colors, for instance, on the internet, trying to look for some inspiration, I get the image of the left that you see here. But the colors of the earthy colors of the landscape of Chilean Patagonian landscape, for instance, which you see in the right part, are very different. So the thing is that in this same way, we cannot think that color trends are going to be universal or general for each part of the world. So this is another problem related to this ever-changing and an idea, commercial idea behind color trends. And other example of timeless colors may be also iconic color. That they also may respond to a specific material culture. So again, what may be timeless for one culture, what may be trendy for one culture, what may be landscape colors for one culture may be different in other parts of the world. So this is just to say that we have to observe critically and evaluate this entire concept of color trends and this consumer culture before we apply them to certain design products and certain design markets and certain customers. So this is this action is just that, just to have a critical eye on what is happening with this commercial part of color. So let's go to see the third action, which is related to embracing color relativity. This is also embracing life cycles. So we all may know that colors are not eternal. They evolve with light, with water, with time. They fade, they fluctuate. And these actions, these changes may be understood as a value also within the product. Relativity and the evolution of colors must be accepted and integrated as part of a product life cycle. When we are selecting colors with a sustainable and appropriate lifespan, we can understand that this must be or can be part of fundamental part of the design process. Also because more and more consumers are choosing products and services for their uniqueness and also for their ethical credentials. So there is something this is something to be considered. And also some brands are even increasing the life of their products by offering color reapplication services, trying to have sustainable color reapplication services, and trying to making that products have a long lasting life. So let me show you some examples of this. I will start by showing you some examples of the city where I live, in Milan. Here you can see the city life residences that are projected by or created by the Zaha Hadid studio in Milan. And they are a set of 7 luxury buildings in the center, in the middle of Milan, in a renewed area. And as you can see here, the buildings have an application of wood on the facade that highlights the aging of the material. So we see a very clean and modern design, but wood is speaking of the passage of time. You can see the differences between the 3 buildings that we are seeing here and the different colors that wood gets. And also it's talking about or speaking about the effects of light and the effects of humidity. So it gives an imperfect character, like a skin, to each one of the buildings. So this is something that, of course, was meant to be like that. This is something created, designed for it, because we see a very clear, a very clean design, very simple design in the buildings, but we see this character of nature happening in the facade. Another similar example, also here in Milan, is this project, which is Bosco Verticale, or vertical forest in English. And it was created by the architectural studio Boeri. And this is an entirely sustainable building. It doesn't depend of the municipality. It reuses then all the energy, the water, and it's one of the most sustainable projects of 2018. And as you can see here, also both buildings are completely covered with plants and trees. And this was also designed, it was created. And the seasonal change is evident here, giving the facades different colors and letting nature play its part in the appearance of the building. So these are some ideas of how we can understand that color is relative, and that we can use this in design. We can use this character of relativity of color and the life cycles that color has. Another example is this Design to Fade collaboration project by Living Color and Puma. And in this collaboration, the colors were produced by bacteria, and they are meant to change. They change with the seasons of the different garments and shoes, and they are enhancing the uniqueness of each garment. They also fade over time, so it is natural color fading. And this also is interesting because this project related to bacterial colors, and this collection shows the many dyeing possibilities through the uses of bacteria, which we are going to see also in a few slides. So as you can see here, these examples again are related to understanding that color change, and that it can be, this changing can be an element of design. And that it may also speak about the history of the product, the history of the project, and giving us a sense of time also with color, which is like thinking on color in a new dimension. The fourth action is related to identity, is fostering identity through local colors, because the human relationship with color is highly influenced by cultural identities. And it is also, this action, it's also embracing this diversity, this identity, and the richness of those influences as a value in design. So local colors positively shape the perceptions of territory, and they create reconnections with the land and the landscapes. These actions are, you may ask yourself, so why this is sustainability? Well, because these actions could foster relationships with communities by linking regional color to local manufacturing. And also because when people get to connect with their community and get to connect with their landscape, they also may take care more about it and of it, and then it could be we could be creating a bridge between these communities and their local environment. So this is why also, as I told you in one of the first slides, and sustainability is also related to human-centered design. So let's see some examples. This is Vive Color, which is a project made by Elisa Cordero Yar in Chile. And this project was meant to recover the colors of the historical center of the city of Rancagua in Chile. And it was entirely created in collaboration with the community. So what Elisa did in this project and with the team of the project was raise the memories of the citizens. So she was asking people, do you remember what the colors of the city center were? And they were rescuing these colors from the memories of the citizens, from the memory of the inhabitants of this place. making that those colors became part of the heritage of the place. So the thing is that now people respect them and acknowledge these colors, and also the renovation of these places and these buildings in the city center is controlled and also is more sustainable, because these colors being respected by people, like not making any graffitis or ruin the facades. You don't have to repaint it a lot of times. It is kept like this, and people is also taking care of this city center neighborhood. So this is why the community involvement is also part of sustainability. Another example is related to local colors, is this database created by Hannah Elizabeth Jones, which is made by taking local plants in North Wales, and also by recognizing that there are different seasons of the year in which you can find these different plants. So it is this example is related to more or less to the life cycles that we were talking before, and also rescuing these local colors and trying to get this sort of a color chart that can be part of the identity of the place where she lives. Another example is the Biocolor project from Finland, which are similar to the project that we saw before. But the interesting thing is that they are working not only with plants, but trying to rescue colors from the Finnish nature in different ways, and working with colors and biological colors and biological pigments. So trying to make identity from pigments, from biology, and it's like changing biology and using biology instead of chemistry. And similarly to the Viva Color project that we saw before, we have also this example of the Favela Painting project in Brazil, which has been also replicated in different countries of the world. And it's also related to community involvement. It is involving the community in the environmental color design plan as a way to generate a sense of community. And in this case, also people was engaged in painting the houses of this favela place, and they were also choosing the different colors of their houses. So there's an aspect of identity. There is an aspect of trying to feel that you belong to a community. People, when you read some of the interviews of this project, you can see that people were like super happy of being away of the house, like being far from the house and seeing the house from far and saying, oh, that greenhouse is my house. So something related to identity, something relating to being to belong, of something related to belonging to a place. Also, when people, there is a sense of community that you may create also when people feel considered, they feel involved, and they can and they also can ensure the preservation of the renovated space. So this is why also, again, considering the community, considering local colors, it's something important in a sustainability project. And we have also this other example, which is interesting because it was a crowdfunded project. It is a project to rescue Swiss dyes for linen. And it was also made through biological and sustainable pigments. And it is you can see a lot of examples. There are a lot of people creating, most of all in fashion design or interior design, colors from sustainable materials, and trying to rescue community work, trying to rescue artisan work, trying to build this bridge between what is design and design needs for products design needs today, and trying to get involved with the community and try also to give value to those community, and try to show what their identity is. So this is something super interesting also from my point of view. And then we have the fifth action, which is reusing discarded colors. And this is maybe what we are most used to think about when we think on sustainability. Reusing and recycling different materials that are waste. And the thing is that you can find a lot of examples also in internet of people that is working with recycled materials. I want to show you some of what I think are the most interesting ones. And because of what also recycled materials it's how recycled materials may also be saying what, or may changing the way where we are going with in this case furniture design. So these designers, Sam Lander, work with this plastic material that comes from food packaging. Actually, this furniture is giving a second life for food packaging, which is like the 30% of the waste that we may find in our landfills. And this discarded material that for sure impacts negatively the environment, offers also in the different shapes that you can get and the different structure that you can get, and the new nature of this material, we can see a wide variety of possibilities with which to experiment. So this is something interesting because it's not only taking and recycling materials just to do what we are used to, but it's understanding what are the new shapes and forms that the new materials may propose for design, in this case, product design or furniture design. So it's both ways around. So we have this also still in plastics. We have this other project, which is Recolored, made by designer Jessica Den Hartog. And the interesting thing in this project is that she was not only recycling plastic, but she was also sorting plastic by color and washing it and recycling it by hand, because she realized that within the plastic recycling industry, there is no distinction is made between the color of the plastic. So most of the times when you recycle colors of plastic, when they are recycled together, the result is a gray raw material. So in order to avoid this problem and to still have colors and work with different colors, what she was doing was trying to separate them. Of course, it was a super hard work. And at the end of it, is experimenting with colors that already exist, but giving them also a second life or a better life. So also, this is an interesting example. You can go and see Jessica's website, and what she does is, if you like color, is like something that is going to like you a lot, because she is sorting and organizing colors and showing a lot of her process. But it's not only about plastics. We have different kinds of colors and new materials that may appear with this sustainable attitude. So here we have another example. This is the Bio-Marble project, also by Hannah Elizabeth Jones in collaboration with Material Driven. In this case, the Bio-Marble is made out from discarded and waste paper. And it has been experimented and worked in a way that it becomes a super hard and resistant material. And the interesting thing behind this project, and this is why I am showing it to you, is because super about is very much related to taking action. This project raises from Hannah's awareness that there was an immense amount of paper being wasted around her when she was studying textiles in Manchester School of Arts. So she wanted to do something with this with this paper waste and try to develop a material. And working with material driven, she could arrive to this biomarble project, which is also interesting because it is appearance, the new colors that you may get, and also the rigid structures that you can build with only by using paper. And going into more strange things, maybe here we have heavy metal waste, or these browns and earthy colors that you can get from heavy metal waste for coloring ceramics. This is also a super interesting project because most of the time in these different projects that I'm showing you, if you go to the documentation, if you go to the websites of the different designers, you may find the entire process, and it is something that also gives you the idea that recycling and reusing, apart from what we may think, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of creativity. But at the end of it, the benefits for the planet, it's what we are looking for. So it worth the work. And here again, this is about heavy metal waste and the colors that you may never think about, things that become trash and waste that maybe you never thought that could be used in order to create pigments. And still in the same line, we have biomaterials created from food waste. In this case is Otan Studio, which working with a lot of food waste, such as fruit peels, expired grains, vegetable remains, and garden waste, such as tree leaves or grass. They have generated this palette of biodegradable materials and had used them in a lot of applications, such as furniture, objects, lighting, and interior surfaces. And here you see this lamp that is created with this pigment or in this material created from orange peel. And the lamp also is called the orange lamp. And another example is these Lutetia and Juno racks that are made by Studio Agnes, which is color and hand dyed by using waste from the pharmaceutical industry, and also from waste from food processing with materials such as hemp, mustard, but even coal or iron. So if you are interested in the topic, you can go and see, and you will find a lot of different materials. The interesting part is that these colors are still not codified, so there is there is a lot of freedom and to work with them, and it's a matter of trying to experiment with different things, trying to be creative, and trying to understand how you can reuse and recycle materials, and working in collaboration with professionals of different disciplines. So it is also very much aligned with the idea of design being an interdisciplinary field. So it is, we don't know yet what are the possibilities of these new materials and these new colors. The sixth action is exploring new sustainable ways of producing color, because in recent years, colors and dyes that go beyond the traditional dyes and the conventional pigments are emerging. And here we are not talking only about reusing waste, we are talking about creating new ways or exploring these new ways of producing color from other kind of materials. Here we are thinking on biocolor and nanopigments and nanoscale color, among others. And the interesting thing for me in this case, in this action or in this direction, is that designers and manufacturers are working with the biosphere and rather than against it. And here also we are talking about the new production and application of bio-based dyes and pigments, non-toxin and biodegradable dyes, which may be a more sustainable solution for textiles, for example, which is one of the industries that contaminates the most, or coatings or packaging, new solutions for coating, new solution for packaging. So significant steps towards the bioeconomy and the circular economy, which we are trying to arrive to. And some of the most interesting things that I found in this field and in this let's say in this direction is a lot of fungi and fungal exploration by different designers and artists. And experimentation in the fungal kingdom is kind of a sustainable trend today. And they go from edible pigments to wood pigmentations to fashion industry. So a lot of different uses to it. And also, I've known also about a project that it's raising or trying to rescue colors of fungi in the Antarctica. So it's trying to find different new ways or new places where we can get some colors. And the interesting thing also is that most of them in this case are edible colors, so edible pigments. And this is also in this image that you are seeing here. This is like taking us and changing our perception that green or natural colors were limited to a palette of browns, greens, and cream colors. But now that we are getting to know that in nature, where nothing is wasted, color appears to be infinite. Also in the possibilities or how to create new pigments and new colorants. Another trend in new types or new ways to create sustainable colors is, as we already said in an example before, as pigments that are produced by bacteria. And here we have another example, which is living pigments, this project by artist Julia Moser. And she started working with bacteria to dye textile, trying to avoid harmful chemicals and pollution. And the interesting thing here is that this appears very much, it seems to be very similar to indigo colors, but being bacteria, it doesn't have a lot of waste and when you are dyeing the textile. So this is interesting because maybe it's a solution to create sustainable colors, sustainable options or alternatives for colors that we may already know that may create more contamination.